Hey guys, welcome back to another video, and in today's video we're doing the Shrine of Secrets review for the 20th of June 2023. It says it's going to refresh in 6 hours. I don't know if that's intentional or not, because the Shrine did did reset like normal last night, and this is being recorded on like Wednesday morning, so I don't know if that's a mistake. I don't know if it's going to be just changing. I don't know if it's for the anniversary event. I don't know, but I just thought it's kind of weird because I haven't really seen it do that before, and I'm not like late or anything. I'm not like super late. This is literally the day after, so I don't know. If it does change, then I'll try and get one done for later again, or get it done for tomorrow. But I just thought it was worth pointing out, I guess. Okay, let's get started. First of all, we have barbecue and chili, which is a cannibal perk. And this perk, every time this perk used to come out in the shrine, it used to like get everyone talking. Everyone would be super excited, and everyone would be talking about it. But unfortunately, it's just kind of sad now because no one really cares anymore, which is really sad. But anyway, after you hook a survivor, all of the survivor's auras are revealed to you for 4 seconds if they are more than 40 meters away from the hook. So you hook someone, you get information on people who are far away, and then, you can do what you will with that information. I really like this perk because even though it's not as good as it used to be, I really like the sense of direction it gives you. I feel like a problem I have playing killer is like hooking someone and then not really know what to do, because it's hard for like if I have perks for like gen information or you know people healing and stuff like that. I don't really know what to do, so I kind of just wander around until I find someone. But I think this perk kind of helps in that regard because even though they're 40 meters away, it tells you where someone is. If they're doing a gen, if they're healing, if they're doing anything. It gives you at least one survivor most of the time to like go and harass. If they're on like a gen, or if you see two people on a gen with it, then you know that you need to, that's your priority. So I feel like it's not as good because it used to have like the blood point bonus. I think people really forgot about this perk once it got nerfed. But honestly, I still use it on a lot of killers. I love seeing where people are because, like I said before, I always am that not survivor, that killer who kind of just wanders around a bit, and I just feel like I'm being useless or like I'm wasting time, and like they're doing gens while I'm just walking around. So I feel like this is good for trying to find people, but other than that, I don't think it's got a lot to it. I think the blood point thing was the main thing that people liked about this perk. So I don't know how people feel about it now, but I definitely don't see it get used like at all now. So that's sad. Next up, we have Dance with Me, which is a cape perk, and this perk has so every time you perform a fast vault, or you leave a locker in a sprint, or you vault over a pallet, you leave no scratch marks for 3 seconds, and it has a cooldown of 40 seconds. So I think the cooldown is really hefty. They haven't changed this, I don't think, at all. I still think 40 seconds is crazy for like 3 seconds of value. I think it should maybe be like 20 seconds or 30 seconds or something. I think 40 seconds is just crazy good. I mean, crazy bad, sorry. And I don't think it's that good of a perk to warrant 40 seconds of cooldown because I think it's good, like 3 seconds of no scratch marks is really good. If you combine it with quick and quiet, if you combine it with like self-aware, obviously head on and stuff as well. But I don't know. I just think it's like okay. It's not like game changing. I think it's really good for like indoor maps because indoor maps are confusing anyway. I think it's really good for like high-rise buildings. I guess I think it helps to lose the killer when you perform a fast vault like out of a window, which is high up or something like that. But I don't know. I feel like again this is why a perk that you maybe have to use with other stuff like the ones I mentioned, but or live because live actually activates for 3 seconds, so then you get a speed boost with no scratch marks, which I think is pretty cool. But I don't know. I just think it's like it's decent, I guess. I don't think there's anything crazy. I don't think I've ever used this perk properly other than doing Adept Kate. So, personally, I just think it's like it's decent. It's not like a terrible perk, but it's not like amazing. It's not like A or S tier or anything like that. Next up, we have Detective's Hunch, which is a tap perk, and this one also every time a generator is completed, you see the auras of generators, chests, and totems within 64 meters. It's tier 3 at 64 meters, which I think is crazy for 10 seconds. And then if you're holding a map, it also gets revealed on the map when Detective's Hunch is activated. And yeah, 64 meters is crazy. I think in this game and on certain maps, 64 meters is fucking mental, to be honest. But that's not a bad thing. I'm just saying that that's crazy good range. Even at tier 2 right now, it's 48 meters, which I think means the least limit is like 32 meters, which is still really good. Um, I think this is really good for like indoor maps. I think reminds me of Visionary a bit, which I think is Felix's perk. That's the one where like every time you do a gen, you see like the closest gen or something. It also kind of like Deja Vu, which I think got buffed recently, but that's the same thing. It kind of shows the gens nearby that are close together. I think it's really good for those indoor maps because I feel like even today when I still play maps like Larry's and Midwich, I'm still confused as fuck, and I still spend like 5 minutes going around rooms trying to find gens. So I feel like this is really helpful, and because as well, you don't have to finish the gen. It just says when a generator is completed. You don't have to even do it. It's just that when your teammates do it, which I think is the same for Poised and Dark Sense, I believe. I think it's I think it's that as well, where like it's just any time a gen gets finished, which I think is really good. Tomes is really good as well. This is really good if you've got a Devour Hope in your game, or I don't know. I'm trying to think of another good hex these days. I can't think of anything. I guess Undying. I don't know. I would have said Ruin, but Ruin is not good now. But basically, yeah, it's good for tracking things, and it's really easy to trigger. The range is massive. 10 seconds as well is really helpful, and it works on maps. So yeah, definitely a good perk, in my opinion. And finally, we have Gearhead, which is a Death Slinger perk. I haven't seen this one on the shrine for a while. I remember it used to be one that came out a lot, but I feel like it's been a while since Gearhead came on. Anyway, after a survivor loses a health state by any means, Gearhead is active for 30 seconds, and while it is active, every time a survivor performs a good skill check while they're doing gens, their aura gets revealed for 8 seconds. So, yeah, you hit a survivor, and then, if for the next like 30 seconds, if a survivor hits a good skill check, you see their auras no matter what gen they're on, no matter the limit. There's no aura range limit for this. I think, unfortunately, it's quite weak. It used to be worse. It used to be after you had to hit survivors twice. It wasn't even just a health state. You just had to get 2 hits on any survivors. And I think it didn't used to do auras as well, if I remember correctly. I think it used to be like the bubble. Also, pretty sure it used to be great skill checks. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but I'm pretty sure this used to be great skill checks. But I don't know. I feel like it's okay. I just feel like there's a lot of better tracking perks in the game. I feel like this one's kind of niche. It's unexpected, I guess. I guess that's one thing, is that survivors don't expect it. Survivors are always hitting good skill checks, so I guess it's good for that. Guess it's good for that. I just don't. I don't think it's like weak per se, because it is actually quite easy to trigger, and you get 30 seconds, and as long as survivors are on gens, you'll probably get value out of this. I don't know. I just feel like there's better tracking perks. Also, I'm trying to think of the perk that's similar to this, but there's a perk that has the same kind of weakness, is that while this, you see their auras when they hit a good skill check, which is great, but it doesn't tell you when that happens. I'm trying to think what perk is kind of like that. I honestly can't remember, but basically, there's no like noise notification, and there's no like sound cue to show that like an aura is being revealed, if that makes sense. So if you're in a chase and someone hits a good skill check and you're not paying attention, then you miss that 8 seconds of aura reveal, and then you probably think, oh, Gearhead didn't get me any value, but it did. But you're busy, if that makes sense. It's hard to explain, but there's another perk that's kind of like it, but like it doesn't tell you when it's happening. So you have to just be paying attention, and if you're not, then you lose the value, and then the gen gets finished, and you're like, oh, it didn't tell me. Yeah, basically, yeah, I just think this perk's kind of flawed, but it's also not terrible. Like, I guess it's weak, but like I don't think it's like terrible either. Perks to say, I don't think I'd say any of these, to be honest with you. Barbecue, I actually would say, because I just think it helps if you're someone who just spends a lot of time like wandering around trying to find people. This is really good for, I don't know, like building that next step, I guess, in your match to like what to do, I guess. I feel like other than that though, I think these perks are kind of like Detective Search. I think it's good. I don't know. I don't know if I would use a perk slot for this all the time, but it is helpful as hell. I think it's really good for like archive challenges as well, because it does chests as well, so that's really good for when it's like, unlock 6 chests, or fully deplete, blah 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 blah. Totems is good for like when there's a hex in the game. Generators, obviously, if it's an indoors map, but it doesn't even have to be an indoors map. Like if you just try to get a challenge done again, or you just really, if there's only one gen left, you could see where the closest gen is. So I guess maybe this one as well. Actually, yeah, I would say this one over barbecue. I think these ones are just like okay, you know. But guys, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and I hope to see you in the next one.